Sassi Punnu, A Tale of Eternal Love. The story of Sassi Punnu is a legendary folktale rooted in the Sindh and Baluchistan regions of present-day Pakistan. It is a tragic romance that explores themes of love, destiny, social boundaries, and sacrifice. In the ancient city of Bombor, a wealthy Brahmin priest and his wife were blessed with a baby girl. However, the joy was short-lived as the astrologers predicted that the girl's stars were cursed, and she would bring dishonor to the family. Fearful of disgrace and societal pressure, the Brahmin decided to abandon the baby by placing her in a wooden cradle and setting her adrift near the banks of the Indus River. The river carried the cradle downstream, where it was discovered by a kind-hearted washerman. Moved by compassion, he and his wife decided to adopt the baby and raise her as their own daughter. The girl was named Sassi, meaning moon, reflecting her radiant beauty. Sassi grew up in a modest home filled with love. As she matured, her beauty became the talk of Bombor. Her grace, charm, and kind nature captivated everyone who met her. The villagers sang songs in her praise, and her fame spread across distant lands. Despite being the daughter of a washerman, Sassi's spirit was untainted by the hardships of life. She was content with her simple life, unaware of the destiny that awaited her. Far away in the deserts of Baluchistan, Punnu, the handsome prince of a powerful tribe, heard tales of a woman whose beauty was unrivaled. Intrigued, Punnu decided to visit Bombor, determined to see if the stories were true. Upon arriving in the bustling bazaar of Bombor, Punnu's eyes met Sassi's, and in that moment, he knew that the tales were no exaggeration. She was as enchanting as the moon itself. Sassi, too, felt a connection to Punnu that she had never felt before. Punnu was entranced and sought out every opportunity to meet Sassi. Eventually, they began to spend time together, and their bond deepened. Punnu confessed his love for Sassi and vowed to forsake everything to be with her. Under the moonlit skies of Bombor, Sassi and Punnu would meet by the river, sharing stories, laughter, and dreams. Their love blossomed despite the stark difference in their social status. Sassi was concerned that their love could never be accepted by society due to the caste difference. But Punnu was determined. Love knows no caste, no class, no boundary. It's a fire that burns even in the coldest hearts. Convinced by Punnu's sincerity, Sassi allowed herself to dream of a future with him. The villagers noticed their growing affection, and while some were supportive, others whispered of the scandalous nature of their union. Word of Punnu's love for a washerman's daughter reached his family in Baluchistan. They were furious and felt humiliated that their prince would consider marrying someone so far beneath his royal stature. His brothers were especially outraged and devised a plan to bring him back. Punnu's brothers pretended to support his decision to marry Sassi and organized a wedding celebration in Bombor. Secretly, however, they had planned to abduct him once the festivities were underway. The wedding day arrived, and the entire village gathered to witness the union of Sassi and Punnu. The ceremony was filled with joy and love as the couple exchanged vows, pledging their eternal devotion to each other. However, during the wedding celebration, Punnu's brothers offered him a drink laced with a sleeping potion. Once Punnu was unconscious, they carried him away back to Baluchistan, leaving Sassi heartbroken and alone. When Sassi awoke to find Punnu missing, she was devastated. Desperate to find him, she set out barefoot into the harsh desert, determined to bring him back, no matter the cost. Sassi's journey through the desert was filled with hardships. The scorching sun, burning sands, and jagged rocks tore at her feet, but she pressed on, driven by the strength of her love for Punnu. As days passed, Sassi grew weaker and more exhausted, but she refused to give up. Her cries for Punnu echoed across the barren landscape, but only the desert winds answered her call. Finally, overwhelmed by fatigue, thirst, and heartache, Sassi collapsed. As she lay dying, the earth itself opened up and embraced her, drawing her into its depths. Meanwhile, Punnu, who had regained consciousness and escaped his brothers, frantically searched for Sassi. His heart sank when he found her lifeless body partially buried in the sand. Overcome by grief, Punnu lay beside her, holding her close as he too took his final breath. In death, Sassi and Punnu were united, their souls finding the peace that was denied to them in life. A shrine was later built at the spot where they perished, and it became a symbol of their undying love. Even today, the legend of Sassi Punnu lives on, immortalized in the sands of Baluchistan and Sindh. Their story is told as a reminder that true love transcends all boundaries and defies even the harshest fate. The story of Sassi Punnu is one of timeless love, enduring pain, and the power of destiny. It is a poignant reminder of how love can inspire great sacrifice and bring together even the most unlikely of souls, uniting them forever in the hearts of those who hear their tale.